Well, my name is Beth, and I am 40, just turned 47. And I basically have struggled with food ever since my teenage years. Kind of came to a point in my life where I guess I've heard Emily use the term quasi recovery in her program. And I feel like where I kind of lived in my 20s and 30s. I was tired of just the mental battle, I think, more than anything. Not necessarily feeling physically awful, but just mentally drained from just the constant thinking about food. I now have triplets, so they're almost 13 years old. I have a daughter. I didn't want to be showing her those behaviors and those patterns. Just having that accountability with Emily was great. I also feel like for a little bit we focused more on just food and kind of increasing my intake. I don't know that I would have made those changes by myself because I had thought about those changes for probably 10 or 15 years, thinking I should really let go of some of these tracking and the weighing and but I just could not do it until I felt like somebody else would tell me it wasn't just me was extremely helpful because I had probably thought about those things, doing those things for weeks, months, years, and never seemed to be able to just do it myself. I did share with Emily this past birthday was just several weeks ago, and it was probably the first birthday since I can remember in my teenage years where food was not the center of my thought. We had some brownie mix in the pantry. My daughter and I made some brownies, and that's kind of what we did for like a birthday treat or whatever. And I didn't even like think about it. It wasn't, my thoughts were like, how can I spend this day being with my family? How am I going to enjoy it the most? And it really, none of those thoughts was around food. It was about the time I wanted to spend and how I wanted to spend with them. And hasn't probably happened in 30 years. So that in itself kind of was just like a wow, this has really taken me to a place that is just so nice, so free. I didn't wake up feeling really inflamed or puffy, or it's like my body just kind of was like, okay, that was some good food. And now we're going to go to the next day. Whereas before I felt like I would have meals like that and my body would just feel awful the next morning. I would definitely recommend coaching and especially working with Emily. I think anybody that is struggling with food, I think you need that accountability. You need someone to just almost give you permission to do the things that probably are in your mind already that you need to do. And I know for myself, if I hadn't just had someone to talk through those weeks where my body was feeling a little weird, that I probably would have stopped and I probably would have just gone right back to what I was doing. Having all the material that she provides for you is so helpful. I know that for me, coaching was a necessity.